Welcome to my pub.
I love the banter, I love the people that are in kitchens, I love the way that they work, I love the energy, I love the noise.
This is the coach. So as you come in, down here is the bar, an open kitchen.
Behind you. 2 burger, 1 chip, sorry, please.
Pubs have been my life for over 20 years.
2 set chips crispy, please.
Join me behind the scenes of this one to meet the team who've made it a Michelin-starred success
Any closer, we'll put a chef's jacket on you and an apron.
and to share our secrets for cooking and serving exceptional food.
If you're in a kitchen, it does feel like you're in this secret sect of people that just know something different to everybody else.
And for the first time, I'm going to open the doors to my test kitchen, where I'll create classic pub-style dishes you can cook at home.
Oh, look at that!
This time,
Table 32, please.
I reveal what it takes to serve up the legendary Coach Burger.
I wanted to feel a little bit like Scooby-Doo, and then he gets this amazing Scooby snack that him and Shaggy fight over.
And in my test kitchen, I'm going to show you how to cook a fabulous fried chicken burger.
Don't worry about the dribble coming out the bottom. Have a good bite.
Along with 2 more pub favourites, prawn cocktail
Pint of beer and a few chips on the side. Mega, innit?
and sticky toffee pudding.
It's rich, it's creamy, it's salty with the sauce. Delicious.
I've owned this high street pub for 10 years. And as you can see, it's not the biggest.
Squeeze bone the bar, thank you guys. Clean as we go, ads, clean as we go. When you're sat at these bar stools, you can talk to Sarah, head chef. You can see the stuff getting cooked on the rotisserie. There's nowhere for these guys to hide. This bit here, the mussels and the beetroot salads, those sort of things, the Scotch eggs. We've got Holly here, who's working the dessert section today. We've got the walk-in fridge, which actually isn't very big. It just kind of like fits me in, that's about it. This is our massive dry store. And then we're back into this space. So you can see this is like a really compact space. And then when a big lump like me gets in the way, it absolutely ruins service, doesn't it, mate? The reality of British pubs, they were essentially just places for drink. The food that used to be there used to be like a cling film sandwich behind the bar of pork scratchings. So as pubs have grown and adapted, we've had to make sure that these small kitchens operate the best they can, because pretty much 90% of the pubs up and down the country operate out of tiny little kitchens.
As well as showing you how my pub kitchen works,
So, Howard, thank you, mate.
I want to let you in on the secrets behind the most popular dishes on the menu.
My pick for today would be the Coach Burger with smoked cheddar, cola braised beef and dill pickle. The Coach Burger is a single patty burger, however, it packs a massive, mighty punch. I wanted to feel a little bit like, you know, like Scooby-Doo, when they solve a crime right at the end and he gets this amazing Scooby snack that him and Shaggy have a fight over. That's what the complete original thought of what the Coach Burger should be.
And the big secret about this burger, it takes over 5 hours to prepare.
The recipe and the development of it came through. I would like the burger to be a little bit pink in the middle. We make the burger mix and we roll it into like a long sausage, basically. And then we cook it for 5 hours at a low temperature. So it's completely cooked all the way through, but it stays nice and pink. Looks amazing. It's stacked really high. It's like little and long rather than it being short and wide.
With such a long cook time, we need to get started on the prep early doors.
The first thing that we put together is the minced beef. Now this minced beef is chuck steak, so it's kind of really high fat content, big flavour. That goes into a big mixing bowl. This big mixing bowl is well used. It's been here for, what, 10 years. So stood next to me is Sarah Hayward, who is the head chef here at the Coach. This mixing bowl has been here longer than any of the chefs in this kitchen. How does that make you feel?
Been outshone by a mixing bowl.
Yeah, outshone by a mixing bowl. The mixing bowl's going to get his Rolex watch before you.
How long do you have to be working here for a Rolex watch then?
10 years. 10 years.
How long's Sarah been here for? How long have you been here, Sarah?
Be 10 years in January.
10 years in January. Sarah is the next watch. Honestly, I think it's amazing. 10 years of Sarah's life has been into our business. Sarah is very much her own chef, runs her own kitchen, has been able to build her own brigade of pirates. Within the group, she's known as Scarer, not Sarah.
No, I'm
Scarer.
You're the only one that calls me Scarer. I'm lovely. I don't know where you get it from.
So we've got beef suet that goes into the mix. And because we're cooking it low and slow, beef fat gently renders. It doesn't fry away or disappear. What it does is it just kind of soaks in and works really nicely with that chuck steak kind of mince. Sarah, what size do I do this?
1 kilo.
Oh, we actually weigh it. Normally, right, back in the day, I'd have just done it by eye. But Sarah's now like, every one is exactly the same. Every one is 1 kilo. So I've got to weigh it, otherwise I'll get told off.
Let's see how close you can get.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly.
17 grams out. I was essentially that far out from being perfect. And then roll it into a sausage. How many burgers do you reckon we get out of one of these, Sarah?
Should get 5 out of each roll, chef.
5 out of each roll. Here, got a knife. I forgot what they look like. Got one. You get your roll like that, then it gets vacuum sealed, and then it gets dropped into a 65-degree water bath and cooked for 5 hours. So that is the cooked burger. They get chilled, and then you can slice them into these burgers. And then we fry them either side, so you get that lovely kind of caramelized, meaty flavour, and then it gets loaded up really high. Cannot wait to show you what it looks like when we stack it all up.
When I want to work up a new recipe,
Show me on.
I get out of everyone's way and head to my test space tucked away out the back.
Thank you very much, Chef. Cheers. This is a great place for me or the other chefs to have a go at playing around with dishes, good ones to show what you can do at home. And there's nothing more of a pub favourite than this one. This is a prawn cocktail with a Bloody Mary sauce. It's got a little twist to it, a bit of boozing for those of you that like it, which is probably most of you.
To start the sauce, mayo and tomato puree.
Why did you decide to pair Bloody Mary with your prawn cocktail?
Prawns, I remember what they taste like. Can't eat them. Got a shellfish allergy. They're rich, they're meaty, but I want something to kind of lift it. And Mary Rose sauce is always very good at that. But the Bloody Mary bit, the splash of vodka, always look, particularly in this room, for flavour plus.
Begin building the flavour with ketchup and creamed horseradish.
I love horseradish. So I put a bit of extra in.
Tom, what are you best known for as a chef in terms of your cooking style?
I think in terms of cooking style in the pubs is those pub classics that have then been elevated, and it's flavour profiles that work really nicely, that are strong and punchy. But I think also a nod to British ingredients. It's not just prestigious, exclusive food for an elite bunch of people.
Next, add the flavours of a Bloody Mary, that well-known hair of the dog hangover cure. Generous splashes of Worcestershire sauce, Tabasco and vodka. Plus a pinch of celery salt and sea salt.
That's it. Punchy. Very much like a proper Bloody Mary. Now, obviously, a Bloody Mary is quite often served with celery, so I'm going to use celery from a prawn cocktail. It's one of the first things I was told by a much older and wiser chef than me when I was a young commie. Look after the ingredients, and they will look after you. That was as he was hitting me on the head with a big bunch of rosemary, because I didn't know me herbs. Remembered which one was rosemary after that. We would sing that Simon and Garfunkel song going, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Like, that's how I remembered my herbs early doors. True story, that.
Do you have everything you need, Chef?
Yeah, you could take that actually.
Sure.
Is everything all right out there?
Yes, all good.
Okay, cool.
Now lettuce. These are my favourites, little gems. Save a few outer leaves and wrap the heart up like a cigar.
And then with your knife, finely chiffonade it's called. You can hear that crisp and crunch of the lettuce, can't you? One of my secrets to a great prawn cocktail is different textures. You've got lettuce leaves that we keep in whole, kind of scoop things up, but also the thin shredded lettuce as well. Now I'm using 2 prawns, 2 different sizes. They're cooked. These ones still got their tails on because they're going to work for garnish.
To build the cocktail, lettuce in first. Then dress the smaller prawns
Drizzle it.
and arrange on the leaves.
My wife is a big fan of shellfish. She wouldn't even have a main course. She would just have a prawn cocktail. And that's what's great about pubs. That pint of beer and a few chips on the side, it's mega, isn't it?
Finish with chopped celery and chives.
It's a classic prawn cocktail, dressed our way with that Bloody Mary dressing. This is a pub favourite for a reason. And the reason is because it's lovely.
And for more pub-style food you can make at home, I've got a fabulous fried chicken burger and an amazing sticky toffee pudding.
Tastes amazing, looks beautiful. Out the front, out there, we worked really hard on creating that gorgeous, really kind of almost top-heavy, topple-over kind of burger. But sometimes you want something a bit simpler, something a bit easier. This is my version of a fried chicken burger. Now, a great cut of meat for a burger like this is chicken thighs. It's probably the most tasty part of the chicken. And it's the bit that's doing all the work. It's the thing that's pushing the bird around, having a wander around, free range, having a lovely time. So although it's got brilliant taste, it does have a bit of a texture that needs a little bit more cooking, or go through a process of helping to tenderize it. So stick your chicken thigh onto your meat board and just bash it a little bit. Don't let out all your anger, right? This isn't a case of being like angry chef, smashing things. The next process of tenderization comes from this. This is buttermilk, and the enzymes that are in that buttermilk that make a big difference to those chicken thighs. Begins to tenderize them the longer you leave them in there.
Buttermilk is the byproduct of butter making. Flavour it with Cajun spice mix and garlic powder. Stick in the chicken and give it a bit of a massage.
You're going to leave the chicken in that buttermilk mix for a minimum of half an hour.
Next, my blue cheese dressing. Mix blue cheese, sour cream and mayo with a splash of cider vinegar, a squirt of American mustard and chopped chives.
So when you think of like a fried chicken burger, it's the coating that's also amazing. And the best way of making that is a combination of 2 types of flour, plain flour and corn flour.
And the secret behind the best crispy chicken is what we in the business call dredging. Take the chicken thighs out of the marinade and dredge them in the flour. It means give them a really good coating.
You can see it's beginning to get clumps on it, and that's actually what we want.
And this trick is going to make all the difference.
Put it back into the buttermilk. Get another layer of that buttermilk flavouring on it. Then put it back one more time in the seasoned flour. So these guys now go into a deep fat fryer, 170 degrees, for about 5 or 6 minutes so they're crispy, golden brown and cooked. The chicken, gently lift out. This is when you season it, so that salt sits in amongst all those little jaggedy crooks and crannies and holes that are there. Little bit of the blue cheese dressing goes on the bottom of the bun. Then some of your gem lettuce. Bit more dressing. Then the chicken. Don't worry about the dribble coming out the bottom. Have a good bite. It's very hard to beat. A good beef patty. But I reckon this chicken will give it a good fight.
Back in the pub kitchen, and the lunchtime rush is on. Unsurprisingly, orders are flying in for our popular beef burger.
Right, ads, 2 burger, 1 chips for me, please.
The check for the burger has come on, and what happens is Sarah then puts the burger directly on the planchas. So it gets cooked both sides, nice, crispy, fried.
Off the plancha, the burger goes into the oven for 4 minutes.
We just put the cheese on now for that last little bit of it kind of like melting over the top.
Adam, our chef de partie, toasts the brioche buns and preps the rest of the burger stack.
So he's got hash browns that have been deep fried, beautiful, crispy, nice and hot. And we've got celeriac remoulade, which is a bit like the celeriac coleslaw. It's a big chunk of pickled cucumber. It's our version of a gherkin. And then a sesame seed bun on the top. There we go. Quick, there's a cheeseburger coming out. So the melty cheese is on top, and then the Coca-Cola braised brisket. Nice spoonful of that. And he's going to lift it, put it onto the bottom of the bun. Then he lifts up, on, stick goes down. Boom. Look at that. That is the most ridiculous burger you've ever seen. Now he's got to try and balance 2 of them and carry them to the pass so that Darren can take them out to the guests. Good luck, Ad. We made it.
How do you like to eat it?
It's a knife and fork job for me. It's not a squishy burger that you hold and eat and dribble. It's one that's slightly, I mean, I've got to admit, it is really tricky to eat, but you know, it tastes nice.
Table 32, please.
Some people absolutely love it. Some people think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world, but I quite like that. I love the fact that people think it's ridiculous.
Ridiculously tasty, chef.
Ridiculously tasty. There we are.
There's one more dish I want to show you, and it's arguably the king or queen of pub puddings.
Everyone has a favourite dessert in a pub, and there isn't a better favourite, in my opinion, than sticky toffee pudding. And like pretty much every sticky toffee pudding, starts off with dates.
Chop them roughly. Then add a teaspoon of bicarb of soda and a splash of boiling water. This will help break down the dates a little. Next, the batter. 2 eggs go into the mixing bowl with light brown sugar and mix.
I'm going to add a special secret ingredient. Now this is beef suet. If you think of steamed puddings, you associate them with pubs, really solid, great British cookery. So then we beat the suet into the egg and the sugar mix.
Do you take a lot of inspiration from like traditional recipes?
Yeah, all the time. The things that I enjoyed as a kid are some of the things that maybe my mum enjoyed as a kid and that my son now enjoys. And they're firm favourites for a reason, because they are just about classic flavours that we all keep coming back to.
I'm giving the classic flavours a twist with a splash of rum. It's amazing with dates. Then add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a spoonful of milk and mix.
Now, self-raising flour is going to go in. I'm just going to sieve it. It's not essential that you do this at home. It is essential though, if you work in the pub. Everything gets sieved. Mix it together. Low speed, okay? I'm trying to fold it together rather than whisk it and beat it too much.
Fill moulds lightly greased with butter, 3/4 full to allow room for the batter to rise in the oven.
So the next thing to go with sticky toffee pudding is the toffee sauce that goes with it.
Gently heat 200 grams of caster sugar in a pan until it melts.
But don't be lulled into a false sense of security, all right? Sugar is hardcore.
Once it's turned a deep amber, turn off the heat.